Welcome to the Aligned and Magnetic podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Ashley. I'm an ICF certified business alignment coach, and they call me the money mindset and manifestation queen. I'm here to help you make your vision for your life and business a reality and doing it in a way that lights you the fuck up. If you're ready to build an aligned, magnetic, and profitable business so that you can live the life of your dreams, you are definitely in the right place. In this podcast, I promise to provide you with the raw lessons, the tools, and powerful questions to help you on the way to creating success your way. Thank you so much for being here. Now let's dive in. Hi loves, welcome back to another episode of the Aligned and Magnetic podcast. Today, we are talking about the mindset shifts to help you go from making $1,000 to $2,000 a month to $4,000 to $8,000 a month in your business. This episode was requested by Dinah, so I just want to thank you for requesting this episode. And if you have, anyone who's listening, if you have other episode requests or questions that you would like me to answer, please let me know. Send me a message on Instagram at Aligned and Magnetic, and I am totally open to the possibility of creating an episode for you. So before we get into the episode, I want to take a moment to give a shout out to Michelle S., who has been on my journey in business since health coaching, like since the beginning. Really. And so she submitted this review and it says, I loved the first episode of Lauren's podcast. As a coach, I have always found her amazing. However, having access to her podcast on demand ups the game completely. It's so nice hearing someone with a similar work background to me and hitting the things you've always thought about and never actioned on the head. Hearing her change in life and realizations on her business and changing her perspectives really inspires you. Her knowledge of business and marketing shines through. I love the encouragement to embrace your own energy, believe in yourself, and add structure to your beliefs. I highly recommend this for any young business ladies looking for their business to take off. Lauren won't let you down. Thank you so much for submitting that review, Michelle. I super appreciate it. For anyone else who would like a shout out, please submit a review of the podcast. I would love to share it with my audience. I would love to highlight you. I would love to thank you because truly I appreciate each and every one of you who are here, who are listening, who are providing feedback. One more piece of exciting news before we get in. I'm so excited to share that the Aligned and Magnetic podcast ranked 21. Oh my God, I wish. Ranked 91 in entrepreneurship in Canada, which is super exciting. When I started working on the podcast, I had the intention of being ranked. I really wanted to be ranked, and we did it. We ranked, and I just want to say thank you again to everyone listening, everyone who's supporting, who's providing feedback, submitting reviews, sharing with your audience. I appreciate you, and every action that you take matters and is very, very appreciated. All right, loves, let's get into the episode. So we are talking about what it takes mindset-wise to go from making $1,000 to $2,000 a month to $4,000 to $8,000 a month. A lot of people say that they want to make more money in their business. A lot of people have this intention. They know that they're ready. They know that they're capable. And whether you're at $0, $1,000, or even in the hundreds, because there was a point in my business where I was only making a couple $100s a month. Like, full transparency, we have to start somewhere. We don't make it to the top overnight. That is a fucking lie. So I just want to share the real truth and the real rawness. So like I said, we are going to focus primarily on mindset. But as with everything, strategy is also part of the story. I find that there are a lot of mindset coaches and manifestation coaches out there that only share the energetic part, but we are not solely energetic beings. We are not just our minds. It does take action as well and strategy. And the strategy can be completely your own. Like, it does not have to be hard. It doesn't have to be like boxy. It doesn't have to be a one size fits all strategy. But strategy is part of the picture. And I want you to know that going into this episode, because this is not the full story. So if you would like to hear an episode on strategies to help you get from $2,000 to $4,000 to $8,000 months, let me know. I would love to give you that. Just send me a DM on Instagram at Aligned and Magnetic, and I'd be happy to work on that episode for you. So when I went from making $1,000 a month to $4,000 consistently, I did hit $6,000 months, and I had a $13,000 sales month. And I also had an $8,000 month. I'm talking in Canadian dollars just for context. Before we move on, I want to define the difference for you between cash and sales. So when we talk about having $1,000, $4,000, $8,000, $10,000 cash months, that means cash received. That means the money my clients or whoever has paid me, has paid me, and it's received, it's in my bank account. When we talk sales months, that is how much we have sold. So if we sell a program, we sell 5 spots at $1,000, but maybe 3 of those spots are a payment plan, that is a $5,000 sales month. And let's say like a $3,000 cash month, depending on what the payment plans look like, right? And how much they may be paid on the first installment to your company. So when I went from making $1,000 to $4,000 consistently, it felt easy. When I say it felt easy, that does not mean I did not work. But the energy of it felt easy. Yes, there was still stress. Yes, there was still a lot of effort put in. There were parts where I didn't believe that it could happen. And as I mentioned in episode 1, my ex-husband at the time had lost his job because of COVID. So all of the pressure all of a sudden was on me to provide. Previously, like, what I had been making in my business was anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a month up until that point. And that had been enough for me. That had been enough to show up in a way where I wasn't burning myself out and build my community, build my audience, kind of figure out what the fuck I wanted to be doing, play with business, play with marketing, all of this stuff, and cover my business expenses and still provide to my family. And now all of a sudden it was like on me to step it up. So at this time, I could have easily freaked out. I could have easily kind of gone into a shell. I could have probably asked my parents for support, because they even said like, hey, if you guys need help, like, we're here for you, which was very comforting. I'm super aware that not everybody has access to support like this. I'm super aware of my privilege. But like I said, it was definitely something that was helpful to put my mind at ease. Like, okay, if this doesn't work out, I have those options. But I was so determined to not take advantage of that. I really wanted to prove to myself. This felt like my time to prove to myself that I could do this. At this time, I had this huge calling to step up and lead in the midst of like literally the world freaking out. I felt like, okay, I've worked a lot on surrender. I've worked a lot on connecting with the universe. I've worked a lot on quieting my mind. And yes, there is chaos. Yes, there's crisis. But my approach is always, and this isn't everybody's approach, but my approach that works for me, going in with a sense of calm and learning to stay calm amidst chaos and learning to trust in the process. And things worked out. And that's the mentality that I always like to lean into, is that everything always works out for me. And this is a belief that I've worked on having for a long time. So despite having a huge calling to step up and lead, there was also a ton of mindset stuff happening for me too. I had questions passing through my mind, like, what do I even charge? What if no one buys? People are losing their jobs. How the fuck are they going to pay for this program? No one's going to buy because we're going into a recession. I don't have a huge community and I haven't booked out my programs in the past, so why would I now? All of these limiting beliefs that I could have chosen to believe and hold me back, but I chose to lean into faith, follow what I felt guided to do, and connect with my intuition as my primary tool and strategy. And when I say I connected with my intuition and leaned into faith, I was like super devoted every day to connect with the universe, to connect with myself. I was meditating daily, doing yoga daily, sitting outside and breathing in fresh air daily. I was really working on staying grounded and being a grounded source for other people. And my intuition, I had all these questions like, what do I even charge? Like, who's going to buy this? I don't even know, like, how many people should I be serving? And this is where my intuition came in. I was cooking in the kitchen one day or baking or something, and the price for my program just dropped in and was like, this is what you're going to charge. For anyone who doesn't know, I released a program called Rise Goddess, which ended up being this beautiful space. Yeah, it was just amazing. And this is the program that I sold at the time that sold out. This ended up being a almost $6,000. It was $5,847 cash month, but it was a $13,000 sales month for me. And even the amount of people that I would accept into the program that I felt called to work with came to me, which was the number 8. It came to me intuitively, like I said, and I ended up filling all of these spots. Now, I want to point out that I don't believe that we have to have one specific moment where it's like, okay, it's time to step into my power now. I believe that we get to choose. Unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, I guess it was my path to choose to be a little bit more comfortable. And I had been knowing that, like, okay, it's time to shake things up. It's time to get uncomfortable. It's time to step into my power. And sometimes if we are too comfortable, the universe will create a circumstance for you where it's very clear that you need to make a move, right? If we don't move, the universe will move us for us or create an opportunity or window for us to move. So leading up to all of this, I want to give you guys a full picture of what was going on behind the scenes. So I had been first of all working on my money beliefs for over 2 years at that point. And I had also been working my business, working on providing value, working on growing my community, working on writing content and practicing sales for 2 years. I had been preparing myself for a $4,000 to $6,000 cash month and also a $10,000 plus sales month. I had been working a lot on releasing my blocks around money. I was doing a lot of healing around money and stepping into my worthiness as a leader and business owner. And it was really, like, I really knew that I had to decide to stop playing small. So this is just a little thing for anybody who is into mindset and manifestation. I was doing a lot of the mindset and manifestation work, and my mindset around receiving money was on point. My mindset around my worthiness to help people was on point. I knew that I had the credentials. I knew that I had the capability to help. I had results because I had been helping my peers make more money with ease in their business. And for whatever reason, it just was not happening for me. And so part of that reason is because I was not in alignment with my practices. And when I say practices, I mean strategies. So the strategies that I was using in my business did not feel in alignment for me. But I also felt like in many ways I was still playing small. And even though I did believe in myself, even though I knew that I could provide results in some ways, I still, looking back, feel like I wasn't fully stepping into my power as a leader. So anyway, this time really just gave me the opportunity to lean into that, lean into my leadership, lean into my worthiness to receive money and to really help people and to really play a bigger game. So of course, when COVID hit and I realized like, fuck, it's all on me. Like I got to keep going. My online business wasn't going to shut down because I worked from home, right? So I had to really get clear on my numbers, on what was coming in, what needed to get paid, what was going out, and all of that. And this is a strategy. So maybe I'll talk more about this in another episode, but this is super important. And once I looked at these numbers, I had to accept that where I was at was okay. I had to really lean into and get comfortable with where I was at. The world would not end if I did not reach my goal. And what this did for me was help to take the stress and pressure off, because often what happens, and you see this all the time in business, like in the online space, when people launch programs, you'll often see the business owner will kind of start to plummet health-wise. They'll get sick, they will burn themselves out in a launch. And I think that something to help balance this out is to come at your launch from a place of, I already have everything that I need. My time will come in divine timing, whether it's now, whether it's next month, whether it's the month after that. All I need to do is continue to take action. And so that's exactly what I did. I really got into that place of everything is okay. We are not dying. Thank God we are not dying. And we have more than enough. There has always been more than enough. I've always managed to pay our bills. Did I have momentary freakouts? Definitely, absolutely. But I did not allow that energy to consume me, and I did not take action from a place of lack. Instead of trying to force my goals into reality, instead of trying to make it happen now and taking action from a place of, I need this to work or else I'm doomed, which I think a lot of people, when they put too much pressure on their business, it's like trying to force a square peg into a round hole. You know what I mean? Instead of doing that, I relaxed into it. I think when we set goals in our business and when we launch programs, we have really high expectations, right? And when we have these high expectations, sometimes what can happen is it can really fuck up the strategic part of it. And like I said, I'll talk about this. I think I'm just going to make the other episode because it's obviously part of it. But it can really fuck up the strategic part, wherein like the energy at which you feel ends up translating to the energy at which you exude, aka through your words, through your actions and all of this stuff. And it can come off as erratic, it can come off as desperate, it can come off as manipulative. So that's why we really need to check where we're at. We need to check where we are selling from. Like, what is the energy at which we are selling from? What is the energy at which I feel right now? What is my belief in the universe? What is my belief in my goals and my desires? And so taking some time to reflect can really help you to just check yourself before you wreck yourself. So obviously, like, the purpose of launching is to make money in your business, and also we need to learn how to let go of the outcome, right? This is a huge thing that I work on with my clients. This is something I feel like everybody struggles with. So obviously, like, I still hoped that my goals would come to fruition within the next month. I had the expectation and the standard that I would make that amount of money. But it felt like, here's what it felt like. It felt less like this needs to happen and more like this is already happening. Now we just have to close the gap from where we're at to where we desire to be. In order to do this, in order to close that gap, I had to get behind the energy of I'm showing up as my next level, whether or not my goal manifests right now. And really remembering that divine timing is on my side. So like I said, acceptance was a really huge thing for me, but also I had to get clear on my desires and step into the next level energy. So in order to do that, because it's super easy to wake up and live our lives like we've normally done. And in order to quantum leap or leap into our next level, we have to come back daily to what it is that we intend, what it is that we desire, and remind ourselves that we can step into that next level right here, right now, instead of going back to our normal daily patterns. So in order to do this, I put a ton of affirmations around my house. I wrote out these cards and I taped them to my mirrors. I taped them around my desk. I put them in the kitchen. I literally had these cards everywhere. So first of all, there's two things that doing this can help you with. Our subconscious mind is picking up on bits of data all the time. Even if you are not like reading it, even if you're not registering it, having those words there, your subconscious mind is picking up on it. But also when you do read it, it brings you back to your intention. It brings you back to like, this is what I desire to create. This is where I'm headed. And this brings me to my third point is, if you are to do this, you need to make sure that your affirmations are your own affirmations and they need to be in alignment with what it is that you desire and your values, okay? This is super important because I don't want you guys going out there just like manifesting what everybody else has. You need to create authentic, unique affirmations, intentions, visions for yourself in order to manifest your unique, authentic dream life. Another thing that is helpful, and I encourage my clients to create a vision board. And I don't even have a vision board right now, but I'm going to be creating one in the Align and Manifest 2-day mini mastermind workshop, which you are going to want to be there if you're ready to go big in 2023. If you want to know how to get into that workshop, send me a message on Instagram, either at Coach Lauren Ashley or at Aligned and Magnetic, and I'll let you know. But having a vision board or something to come back to every day, and I mean a vision board that is, again, aligned and authentic to who you are, because not every vision board is going to look the same and not every vision board is going to work for you. We need to create something that is going to work for you and not just have like a ton of random shit on your vision board that is not connected to who you are, because your brain is just gonna fucking reject that shit. Like, it's got to be true to you, baby. So coming back to your vision every day helps you to remember what you're here to do and what you are capable of. Because like I said, it takes time to shift and it's very easy to fall back into our normal thinking patterns. And also, we need to actually come back to our vision every day and spend time and create intention around our vision, if this is making sense. I want to shift into money mindset now, because a lot of the work that I had been doing leading up to this time, where I shifted from making $1,000 to $4,000 a month, a lot of it was money mindset. So the first question that I have for you and this is all work that I've done, what do you believe to be true about reaching your next level? So if you are thinking that making $4,000 to $8,000 a month is hard, if you're thinking like you're going to have so much more work to do, I'm already maxed, I don't have the emotional capacity to handle all of this, then the question needs to become, how do we make it easier to bring in $4,000 to $8,000 a month? Because whatever you are thinking is going to happen, you obviously are rejecting, right? So let's bring a concrete example into this. In my own business, I have learned that I don't want to work with 8 or 10 one-on-one clients at a time. My max is like 4 to 6, depending on if they're full-time clients or part-time clients. I like to provide an amazing high-level experience to a handful of people. I like to be close with my clients. I like to create an intimate experience. I am not that coach that is just going to forget about you. I am not that coach that is going to check in once a month to see how you're doing. I am not that coach that is going to just leave you to figure shit out on your own. I really like to be there for my clients. And so that involves not working with like 10 plus. I know like some people work with like 18 clients. That's just too much for me. And I also really value my freedom. I don't like to be strapped to my desk on phone calls all day long. So in order to free up my time and in order to have the space that I really love to have, I limit my amount of clients that I take on. So in order for me to reach new levels of income in my business, the work that I do is like, how do I make this easy? What is a way in which I can impact people the way I really desire to impact people, and also up level and free up time and space, right? Because if it feels too hard, if it feels like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to like show up in this way, or like I'm gonna be responsible for my client's results, or whatever I'm making my next level mean, I have to make sure that I'm looking at those beliefs and either changing the beliefs or creating something that is going to work for me. So something that I love to do is actually create group spaces, because I can still have impact. My group spaces are very intimate. They're also very transformative. And I love the space, the intimacy, the connection that my group programs offer. There are a lot of coaches in the industry that tailor more toward impacting more people at a lower cost, but their group spaces are filled with like hundreds of people, and it's hard to even get a word in or get any one-on-one attention. My preference is to create smaller groups that are transformative, smaller groups that are intimate, that can really get you traction. The other thing that I want to mention is that there's a lot of group community energy in my human design and astrology. I have a 4 in my profile, which is all about networking. It's all about community. It's all about connection. My rising sign is in Aquarius. And there's a lot of other little elements in my human design and astrology chart that lead me to believe that I'm here to bring people together. And so that is something that I'm committed to. And that is one way that I lean into my alignment to reach next level income. Does this make sense? What's so funny is, okay, for years, this is actually really important, and I completely forgot about it until now. For years, I tried to sell one-on-one, and I had been working with one-on-one clients through another coaching company that was referring clients to me. I had worked with some other one-on-one clients in different capacities, but I had only signed on one-on-one client through my business, through my coaching business, up until that point. And what's so interesting to me is a lot of coaches will encourage you to just like focus on selling your one-on-one, focus on selling your one-on-one, book out your one-on-one. It's your highest opportunity to make the most income so that you can get off the ground and going, which completely logically makes sense to me from a strategic business standpoint. But I had been wanting to release a group program. And once I did release the group program, Rise Goddess, it took off, right? And then my mastermind, like another program that went really, really well. So there's definitely a balance here between listening to your intuition, taking aligned action, and also being strategic. Another money mindset question for you is, what does having more money mean to you? What are the positive and negative beliefs that you have about reaching $4,000 to $8,000 a month? Remember that even if you want $4,000 to $8,000 months, but if you have like any beliefs that things will be harder or that something bad will happen, like you'll lose the money, you'll make the money and then lose it, or you'll have to just spend it on like business upgrades or debt repayment. Like if you are associating anything negative to receiving this money, it's going to be harder for you to manifest it. Your subconscious mind will reject that desire and you'll be closed off. Another thing to really think about is, are you closed and focused on manifesting money from one particular area, or are you showing up in alignment with who you are and what you desire to do and feeling open to receiving? At this point in my life, when I went from making $1,000 to $4,000 a month, I was open to receiving money from anywhere. I had the option of my program Rise Goddess. I was also working on the side doing some marketing and business development for my mom's coaching business. And I was also working on my own. So I was putting in like 40 hours a week or something. I was willing to do whatever was necessary to reach my income goal. And I think I said this already, but in the mindset manifestation community, there is this huge thing going around that it should be easy to make money and that it can be easy to make money and that little effort is required. You don't have to work hard, which is like, yes, that is true. And also, you do need to take action. You do need to put energy and effort into your work in order to get to where you want to be. In the beginning of building a business, like just from speaking from my own experience, magic can happen. Clients do come out of nowhere. It is possible when you are in alignment. And also, to create consistency, you have to show up consistently, right? Consistent actions create consistent income. And that's just what it is. So back to this idea of, are you closed and focused or showing up in alignment and open to receiving? I want to share with you one of my favorite stories, because a lot of my clients struggle with seeing things very narrowly. They will plan out a launch and they'll do all of the launch things and they still won't see results. And the first thing I want to mention about this is, like, when this is happening, we are closed off to the intuitive nudges, like our intuition, our spirit guides, like whatever you want to call it. The universe is always guiding us and always giving us nudges. But if we are so focused on the path where we're going and we are not even seeing what's around us, we're not listening to the intuitive nudges, we close ourselves off to making magic happen. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we can also close off to other opportunities coming through, right? When our energy is way too focused, when our mindset is way too focused, we like completely reject anything that is not that. And then therefore that thing cannot manifest. So one of my favorite stories is with my friend Carolina. We were in this coaching program together and we were coaching each other on the side and just, we're accountability buddies. We became biz besties. And she was trying to manifest a new client and reach like $5,000 a month or something. That's what she really desired at the time. She thought this new client had to come through, I think, on a payment plan or something like that. And she had this very narrow way of bringing in a new client. And I was like, well, what if we open it up? Like, what if someone paid you in full? Because I think she had like this idea that she had to manifest like 3 clients on payment plans. And she was like, these clients aren't coming. Like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing everything. And I was like, well, what if one client came through and paid in full? And she literally manifested, I think it was like 1 or 2 brand new clients in a week after having our call. And I'm pretty sure one of them paid in full. And I'm also pretty sure that she hit an $8,000 month. This is just an example of what happens, right? When we are so focused on one path, we can completely miss the mark and miss other opportunities. We can block ourselves off to other ways of manifesting. And when this happens, we can end up feeling very disappointed. We can end up shutting down. We can end up feeling like, this isn't working. Why am I even doing this? But once we open it back up, once we realize like, okay, there are way more ways of making money than just this one narrow path that I've been focusing on, then First of all, it opens us up energetically speaking, but it also opens us up on a creative level, and it helps our minds get behind a new way of making money, and therefore gives us like an extra push of motivation, an extra glimmer of hope that often helps us to keep going. Because a lot of the time what I see is that clients give up when they're not seeing the results, and they give up way too soon. And giving up way too soon, of course, is going to close you off to receiving the results, because you didn't have the faith, you didn't have the belief that you could make it happen, right? The last question to ask yourself is, how are you showing up for your next level? I notice that a lot of people are, like I said, ready energetically, they're ready like mindset wise to make more money in their business, but they're not actually showing up for it. And so you can do all of this mindset work. You can clear your beliefs, which is the first starting point. Like, this is definitely 100% necessary to be doing in order to reach your next level. But after you do that work, the next question you need to ask yourself is, how are you showing up for your next level? Just like we can't expect to see results from the gym after one workout, you cannot expect to make consistent $4,000 to $8,000 months after posting one time. Can it happen? Yeah, sure, definitely. I have seen clients come out of nowhere, like I said. I have seen my clients, once they step into alignment, they manifest clients out of nowhere without sales pages, without ever talking about one-on-one. But consistent actions create consistent results. And what happens, or what has happened, is that myself, my clients, we've put in the work to create manifesting clients out of nowhere. So can it actually happen just after posting one time? I'd like to take that back. I don't think so. Sometimes crazy shit does happen, and we want to be open to it. Like, we do not want to close off by any means to miracles. We don't want to close off by any means to magic. But to create consistent results, like I said, you have to show up consistently. You have to show up consistently for your mindset, but you also have to show up consistently for your business. And this is the biggest thing that I see entrepreneurs not doing, is showing up consistently. And then they wonder why actions are not, or why results are not coming. And usually the reason is because they've been hiding, or they're showing up very little. And if you think about your business as a relationship, if you only show up for your romantic relationship once every month, what would happen to your relationship? Right? It's the same thing with your clients. It's the same thing with your business. If you're only going to put in an hour a month, an hour a week, you can expect to receive the results of having put in an hour a week, an hour a month. Now, this isn't to say that it has to be hard. This isn't to say that you have to become a slave to your business, because that is not true. But you do have to put energy into your business. So keep taking that action. Keep putting yourself out there. Just because you are not seeing people comment, you're not seeing people respond to you, does not mean that they're not there, does not mean that they're not watching. If you continue to show up as if everyone is watching, you will start to see your reality shift. So how can you show up with more purpose? How can you show up with more intention? How can you share what you have to offer and ask for the sale regularly? How can you be your next level? How can you think your next level? How can you feel your next level? We can get behind the mindset. We can be open to receiving. And also, how do you start to embody your next level and start to be your next level before you actually live your next level? The mindset and spiritual manifestation world, they like to focus a lot on the internal work, which is super key. This is not to like minimize that at all. But what I've realized is that a huge part of being a success and a huge part of up-leveling is the physical, strategic, outward work that we are doing, the work that we are putting out into the world, how we are communicating in our marketing, how we are communicating to our clients, how we are putting ourselves out there and showing up. This is the magnetic pillar of my aligned, magnetic, and profitable business framework that I take my clients through. If you are someone who needs support with taking consistent aligned actions and putting an aligned action plan in place in your business, I'm going to drop the link in the show notes to set up a complimentary connection call with me. We can chat about where you're at. You'll walk away with one step that you can take right now to help you get into alignment and show up consistently online in your business so that you can reach your next level with ease. And we'll also see if we're a good fit to work together and how I can support you in reaching your next money milestones in your business in 2023. I'm taking on a few one-on-one clients in January, so if you are interested in working one-on-one with me to really step it up in your business, let's go. Let's have a conversation, no strings attached, and make sure you leave a review because I would love that, and I would love to shout you out in the next episode. All right, sending you so much love. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast today. If you like what you heard, I would love it if you left a review. Make sure you check out my website in the show notes to get the links to the launch party giveaway. There are over $1,000 worth in products and services to help you grow and expand. And until next time, I'm sending you waves of abundance.